everyone, my name is Emily and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my top 10 houseplant tips to help your plants grow and thrive. These tips are perfect for beginners or if you just need a little bit of help with the plants that you already have. If you're new here, I make videos on houseplants, DIYs, and lifestyle. So let's get started. So the first tip I have is to always do research on the plant before you buy it. Doing basic research can help you know the plant's needs and if you have the right environment for the plant. This can prevent you from losing plants later on down the road. The things you want to research are what kind of humidity the plant likes, how much water does it need, how much sunlight it needs, just so you can set yourself up for success before you even buy the plant. So the second tip I have for you guys is to pick a spot in your home for the plant and leave it there. Now, obviously, if the plant doesn't like the spot and responds negatively to this environment, I would highly suggest moving it, but sometimes it takes a plant a while to acclimate to its new surroundings, so I would recommend just picking the spot, leaving it there, and seeing how it does. Now, the research that you've done on the plant will tell you what kind of environment this plant likes. So do a little bit of research first, like I mentioned in the first tip, so you know where would be best suited for the plant. So the third tip I have for you guys is to schedule a watering day or set aside a few hours each week to check up on all of your plants. This helps you keep track of them and also helps you stay on top of any issues that might arise, such as pests or root rot. So my next tip is to check your plant's leaves and clean them often. Now, cleaning your leaves can help your plants photosynthesize better because, the dust can get in the way of the amount of light that your plant gets. Also, checking your leaves can help you stay on top of any pest issue that may come up. Make sure to check the top side of the leaves as well as the underside of the leaves. Always a good idea to check your plants and check your leaves often because, especially in the spring and summer, pests really do come into play and they can really be hard on your plants if you don't stay on top of it. Also, you want to be checking your leaves and your plant just in general for webbing because spider mites leave tiny little webs all over the plants. Also, check the underside of the leaves because thrips, I feel like they reside the most on the underside of leaves, and thrips are very challenging. I actually just had an experience with them not that long ago, and they take a long time to get rid of. So it's a really good idea just to be checking, just to make sure that you're not seeing any little bugs on your leaves. Also, in the spring and summer, fungus gnats start becoming an issue. Personally, I use neem oil and gnat sticky stakes for my houseplants, and they seem to work really well. My fifth tip for you guys is to fertilize your plants. Now, you always want to make sure that your plant wants to be fertilized before you do, but fertilizing them really helps them grow and really helps them thrive. I use fish emulsion, which is an organic fertilizer, along with worm castings in my soil. My next tip, and one of the most important tips on this list, is to don't overwater your plants. I've been guilty of this, especially in the beginning, which is why I purchased a moisture meter. I will go ahead and link that down below for you guys. I use my moisture meter every single time that I water my plants because I really don't want to overwater them and I don't want their roots to rot. Now, root rotting occurs whenever the soil has way more moisture than the roots can absorb, and this just leads to them rotting out, and it's a very, very quick way to kill your plant. So I would highly recommend either getting a moisture meter or at least sticking your finger in the soil just to make sure that the soil is not still damp before you water. So my next tip is no shallow watering. When you're watering your plants, you want to make sure you're watering them thoroughly, so much so that water is draining from the bottom of your pot. This leads to my next tip, which is don't purchase pots without drainage holes. Now, I know that there are some really cute pots out there that don't have drainage holes, but I'm telling you, it's worth it to make sure that they do. having a pot without drainage holes is the quickest way to rot your roots. So I would definitely make sure that they have drainage holes, or if your pot doesn't have drainage holes, that you're dumping out the excess water before putting your plant back on the shelf. So the next tip I have for you guys is don't be afraid to chop. Propagating and pruning your plants can help redirect the energy within the plant to help it grow thicker and fuller. And you get more plants, so it's a win-win. And my last tip kind of goes hand in hand with my last tip, which is if you want thicker, fuller plants, go ahead and propagate the plant and put the cutting right into the same pot as you have the plant in. I have this Cebu Blue here that I've started this process with. When I first got this plant, it was a single vine, and I let the vine grow pretty long, and then I propagated about 5 leaves from the plant and potted them right back in here, and over time it will give me a fuller plant. And I also have a moss pole in here as well, so whenever these vines do start growing, I'll just attach them right here to the moss pole to give them more support so the leaves grow nice and big. Here is another example of this. This is my philodendron micans. I did the same process with this plant. When I first got it, it was a single vine. I waited for the vine to get pretty long, and then I propagated about 4 or 5 leaves from the plant and planted them right back in here in the pot with a moss pole. And I'm excited to see how it grows over time, and I will definitely keep you guys updated. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you found these tips helpful. If you have any more tips, please leave them down in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at @TheBrunetteInBloom, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.